Hi and welcome to the Peace Team series of webinars. My name is Fazana Wangde Mohammed and I'm one of the outreach workers. This webinar will be focusing specifically on defining child sexual exploitation. In this webinar, we'll be looking at the official government definition, unpicking it a little to look at what it means. We will take a brief look at the Rotherham inquiry. We will then look at who's impacted, the grooming line, grooming models, how to spot the signs, staying safe, and support available. What is child sexual exploitation? Child sexual exploitation is a form of child sexual abuse. It occurs where an individual or group takes advantage of an imbalance of power to coerce, manipulate, or deceive a child or young person under the age of 11 into sexual activity in exchange for something the victim needs or wants, and/or for the financial advantage or increased status of the perpetrator or facilitator. The victim may have been sexually exploited even if the sexual activity appears to be consensual. Child sexual exploitation does not always involve physical contact. It can also occur through the use of technology. Child sexual exploitation is when a child is used, made, or tricked into doing something sexual, sometimes in return for something: affection, gifts, food, drugs, and alcohol. The child may not be aware that they are being exploited. This can be done online and does not require physical contact. Child exploitation, above all, is child sexual abuse. One of the key things to consider is that they may not believe that they are being used in any way and may believe themselves to be in love. Online contact can be things like sharing nudes, such as images, and can be used as leverage to get the child to do other things. In terms of sexual exploitation, much can take place over the internet, asking the victim to complete sexual tasks over a live stream, for example. CSE has happened all over the world and definitely across England. However, the Rotherham child sexual exploitation scandal may be the most well-known one. It received a lot of media coverage and instigated the Rotherham inquiry. The Rotherham inquiry uncovered an unacceptably large number of young girls who were the victim of child sexual exploitation. In just over a third of cases, children affected by sexual exploitation were previously known to services because of child protection and neglect. Some at leadership levels viewed the problem as exaggerated, whilst many of the frontline workers were overwhelmed with the sheer numbers of children involved. It is the most well-known example of CSE demonstrating the extent of the impact of CSE on vulnerable young people. It highlighted the importance of adequate protective structures. Rotherham also brought to the fore the need for supporting the potential victims and the role that everyone has to play in helping prevent CSE from happening. For further information, please take a look at the Independent Inquiry into Child Sexual Exploitation in Rotherham by Alexis J. Who is impacted? In Rotherham, young girls were being raped by multiple perpetrators, trafficked to other towns and cities in the north of England, abducted, beaten, and intimidated. There were examples of children who had been doused in petrol and threatened with being set alight, threatened with guns, made to witness brutal, violent rapes, and threatened that they would be next if they told anyone. Girls as young as 10 were raped by large numbers of male perpetrators. It sent a clear message within the community that resisting is futile. When CSE happens, it takes place in hotels, car parks, public parks, and these girls are identified in corner shops, at bus stops and train stations. In some cases, just outside the young person's home. The Rotherham inquiry highlighted that CSE had become rampant as a result of countless people turning a blind eye towards it. It was the most widespread, well-established form of child sexual exploitation documented in modern history. It can impact boys too. There have been young boys that have been targeted by adult males as well as females, targeted and groomed and used for sexual favors. Child exploitation can lead to family breakdown, where children are out of parental control due to the harm that young people are facing within the community. The grooming line is a resource that was developed by Bernardo's and is used across the discussion and education of child sexual exploitation. The targeting stage is testing the water, if the child will return a smile, accept a cigarette, or even a compliment. The friendship stage is trying to reduce inhibitions, testing out how the child might respond to nudity through the use of porn or other physical touch. The loving relationship stage will establish and cement the sexual relationship, push the child to try out risky behaviors. The final element is the abusive relationship. By this point, the child has been isolated from normal friends and family. They may be too embarrassed to discuss what they have had to do, like sleep with the perpetrator's friends. Grooming models. This slide looks at the main grooming models. In some cases, young people are asked to bring friends over where there is free alcohol and drugs. Often the young people instigating this may also be unaware that they are part of the grooming process. Perpetrators can often provide a sense of love and belonging to the victim. Perhaps they are isolated themselves and feel flattered that they are being paid attention. Girls can be used to service the entire gang sexually or used as drugs mules. Young boys can also be used sexually, sometimes being punished by being raped. The online model can be considered to overlap all other models with the current use of social media and smartphones. There have been some cases known where all the grooming stages have been carried out online and the victim has to carry out the tasks as directed. They could also be blackmailed using their nudes. The party model will offer young people free booze and substances at a location. This can lead on to doing sexual favors. In child sexual exploitation, there can be quite serious use of violence and intimidation to ensure that the young person does what they are supposed to do, so that they are too scared to talk to anyone, and there are some signs to look out for. Unexplainable gifts like clothing or shoes, being able to access drink and drugs for free, changes in mood, extreme tiredness, not engaging with normal friends, changes in health, pregnancies, sexually transmitted infections, being controlled by the phone. One of the key things that might be an indicator is unexplained absences, not being able to explain where they went, with who, and why they were not at school. Staying safe. Key things for young people and parents or carers to talk about. Communication. Talk about relationships. What would a healthy one look like? What is okay or acceptable in a relationship? If young people are going out without a known supervising adult, talk about where they're going, having a tracker on the phone for peace of mind. Will there be drugs and alcohol there? Is it okay for them to drink or smoke? If so, how much? What would be the risks of accepting cigarettes, alcohol, or cannabis from people for free? Why would they be given something for free? Keep the phone charged and carry a battery pack. Have enough money to get home. If they are going as a group, agree to leave if anyone feels uncomfortable. Age. If you say that you are older than you actually are, chances are that other people might say that they are younger. Staying safe online. Information sharing. Don't give out personal information like bank details, addresses, school details. Trust your instinct. What are you sharing? Photos. What's in these photos? Remember, the picture of a naked child, even if it is of yourself, is still seen by the law as child pornography. Keep your password safe. Say no if you feel uncomfortable. Be careful who you chat with online. Double check privacy settings. Filters. Filters work both ways. If you can make yourself look older, others can make themselves younger. If you would not put something on a billboard in your neighborhood, why put it on social media? Support and advice. The agencies below are known for supporting young people. Further reading. Please take a look at other peace webinars and countless resources on the Contextual Safeguarding Network. Child Sexual Exploitation, How Public Health Can Support Prevention and Intervention. Independent inquiry into child sexual exploitation in Rotherham. It makes for grim reading, but it gives a thorough explanation of how communities can be impacted. Working Together to Safeguarding Children. Contextual Safeguarding and Child Protection, Rewriting the Rules by Colleen Furman. And please register on the csnetwork.org.uk. Thank you for watching.